Imagining the possibility of flipping a biological switch to trigger a true reversal of aging is no longer a mere fantasy scenario. It is, in fact, the astonishing reality manifested by the existence of a vast population of centenarians in the land of the rising sun. With over 90,000 individuals living over a century in Japan, they openly defy traditional gerontological expectations, exhibiting a vitality and clarity that cannot be fully explained by conventional scientific parameters. It is crucial to emphasize that these long-lived patriarchs and matriarchs do not resort to miracle elixirs, nor do they depend on expensive or complex cutting-edge medical technologies. The secret underlying their longevity and extraordinary quality of life is, in fact, distilled into an extremely simple and practical code, a sequence of 6 fundamental movements, to be performed for a total of just a few minutes throughout the day, whose origin has long been hidden from common knowledge. The most unexpected discovery, destined to rewrite our understanding of history and biology, lies precisely in the source of these exercises. Their origin is not Japanese, but represents the echo of a profound and almost forgotten wisdom rooted in ancient Egypt. This practice is attributed to the sage Thoth, a divine figure revered in pharaonic cosmogony as the guardian of knowledge and the one who held the secrets to mastering time itself. In this detailed analysis, we are about to reveal the first of these rituals, an exercise that lasts just 1 minute and which, according to the latest scientific findings, offers a more reliable predictive capacity for your longevity than that provided by the most common clinical indicators. Ignoring this knowledge is tantamount, consciously and irreversibly, to giving up precious years of independent and fulfilling life. For this reason, it is essential that you remain focused and attentive, as the truth we are about to share has the intrinsic power to radically transform the way your body ages and renews itself. If at this very moment you feel, deep within your consciousness, an intimate and powerful resonance with the idea that your body holds an incredible yet untapped power of self-healing and regeneration, I ask you to immediately express your support with a like. This gesture is not an algorithm to be satisfied, nor a trivial statistic. It is the solemn act of alignment that allows me to recognize in you a traveling companion, irrefutable proof that you are fully in tune with the depth and importance of the code we are revealing. Your like is confirmation that this ancient wisdom is not a relic of the past, but the concrete and practical key to your future vitality, and attest your resolve to embark on a path of awareness and mastery. Human beings, in their most authentic dimension, are not merely passive subjects, but are the architects of their own destiny, for it is in present action and thought that the structure of their future is built. Thoth, the venerable figure of Egyptian wisdom, was not simply a deity worshipped, but was conceived as the master of knowledge, the cosmic intelligence responsible for recording the fundamental principles governing the universe. Tradition, veiled in rich symbolism, narrates that he inscribed this profound knowledge on tablets crafted from a single block of emerald, a mineral that, according to the ancients, vibrated at a frequency capable of preserving knowledge unchanged through the relentless flow of centuries. It is crucial to understand that these tablets did not contain magical formulas or esoteric rituals to defeat death. On the contrary, they contained something infinitely more practical and powerful, an operating manual for understanding human consciousness and for the proper maintenance of its physical vehicle, the body. What Thoth codified was, in essence, a map for transcending the limitations that, through habit and belief, we tend to consider inevitable. He argued that aging, illness, and physical weakness are not natural conditions of being, but are the result of an organism that has disrupted its natural and intrinsic harmony with the cosmic order. The true secret, therefore, lay not in the futile attempt to race against time, but in learning the supreme art of flowing in tune with it. In his vision, the body was not a random collection of tissues and bones, but was compared to an exquisitely crafted musical instrument, in which every cell, organ, and joint must be meticulously tuned to vibrate in perfect resonance with the majestic symphony of creation. This tuning could not be achieved through physical strength alone or excessively stressful exercises. The key, according to Thoth's teachings, was to be found in vibration, conscious energy, and the focused intention of the mind. He revealed that specific sequences of movements, when combined with rhythmic breathing and a well-defined intent, had the ability to modulate and raise the body's vibrational frequency, thus allowing it to align with the fundamental principle that governs the entire cosmos, Mot. Mot is not a deity in the strict sense, but the Egyptian concept that embodies truth, balance, order, and universal harmony. Living in Mot meant living in full resonance with the intrinsic truth of the cosmos, and this alignment was directly and measurably reflected in the optimal health and vitality of the physical body. This doctrine was considered so powerful that it was jealously guarded and passed down through the ancient mystery schools, from master to disciple, for millennia. It was believed, not without reason, that humanity had not yet reached the intellectual maturity to fully understand that the power to heal and regenerate did not come from outside, from divine forces or magical potions, but was intrinsically stored within one's own being. The profound truth that the body is a portal to the limitless energy of the universe was cleverly veiled in symbols and allegories, awaiting the historical moment when human consciousness was mature enough to decipher and apply this code. And that moment, supported by today's scientific discoveries, has unmistakably arrived. Modern science, armed with its instruments capable of measuring what was once invisible, is surprisingly confirming the validity of these ancestral principles. Pioneering studies on concepts such as neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself, epigenetics, environmental influence on gene expression, and bioelectricity. They are clearly demonstrating what Thoth had already intuitively understood millennia ago. Our consciousness and our intention are capable of exerting a direct and measurable influence on the biological matter of our body. Movement, when performed with intention and full awareness, can reconfigure complex neural networks, activate specific genes linked to longevity, and optimize the flow of energy throughout the entire organism. What was once labeled esotericism or mysticism is rapidly becoming an indisputable scientific fact, revealing that the ancient Egyptians possessed a far more advanced understanding of human biology than conventional history has handed down to us. The body, as Thoth argued, is not the obstacle to be overcome, but the fundamental key that opens the door to mastery of one's existence. The 6 exercises we are about to explore are not to be considered mere fitness routines, but authentic keys, passed down through time, each designed to unlock a specific aspect of your self-healing and rejuvenation potential. They constitute the practical application, distilled and simplified for the modern world, of the wisdom encoded on the emerald tablets. How this knowledge was able to travel from the banks of the Nile River to the Japanese archipelago reveals a universal pattern that unites all the great ancient civilizations. How could such secret knowledge, born in Egypt, re-emerge in such pure form in the Far East? The answer lies not in historical maps or trade routes, but in a universal truth that transcends geography and time: the search for harmony. That ideal that the Egyptians called Mot, cosmic order and perfect balance, has found an almost identical reflection in a seemingly distant culture. In Japan, the same principle is known as Wa, a profound concept that embodies peace, harmony, and the essential balance between the individual, society, and nature. While the West was devoted to a philosophy of conquest and competition, the East has embraced an alternative path. Cultures such as the Japanese have preserved the art of inner peace, of focused intention, and of movement that heals rather than exhausts. They understood that true strength comes not from tension and muscular resistance, but from fluidity and the ability to move in full harmony with the natural flow of life. Japan, with its profound culture of respect for ancestors and simplicity, unexpectedly became the ideal custodian of Thoth's wisdom. The 6 exercises practiced by its centenarians are not a direct imitation of Egyptian teachings, but are the physical and corporeal manifestation of the same universal laws that the deity engraved. It is as if the same seed of wisdom had been planted in different soils and had blossomed in unique ways, while maintaining the same fundamental essence intact. Forget complex exercise routines. In Japan, doctors don't just look at blood tests or blood pressure to assess a patient's health. They use a diagnostic test. It's almost disarmingly simple, a single movement that can predict your longevity with impressive accuracy. It's the practice of standing on one leg. It may seem like child's play, but behind this seemingly banal act lies an inescapable truth about how your body and brain are aging. This is the first secret, the practical key that unlocks Thoth's code. A landmark study conducted by Fukuoka University monitored thousands of people for over 10 years. The results were astonishing. The ability to balance on one leg for a full minute proved to be a more powerful and reliable indicator of longevity than many traditional medical markers. Those who easily passed the test and practiced it regularly showed a 68% reduction in the risk of suffering hip fractures, a leading cause of loss of independence in old age. However, the benefits extend far beyond bone health. What happens in your body when you try to balance on one leg? It is not just a test of physical strength, but a sophisticated neurological essay. To maintain an upright posture, your brain is forced to instantaneously process a huge amount of information from your eyes, inner ear, and hundreds of microscopic sensors in your muscles and joints. It must then send precise motor commands to hundreds of muscles, from your foot to your core, the central muscles of the body, performing constant and infinitesimal micro-adjustments. It's a very intense workout for your central nervous system. This exercise, known as the balance of the wise, is the direct application of the Thoth principle that invites you to find your own center. Physically, you can achieve greater stability in your life. By forcing your body to seek that balance point, you're actually pushing your brain to create new neural connections. Brain scans have shown that those who regularly practice this exercise develop greater gray matter volume in the brain areas responsible for balance, cognition, and memory. You're literally building a younger, more resilient brain. Unfortunately, most people quietly lose this ability after age 40 without realizing it. Modern life, dominated by chairs and flat floors, no longer challenges our balance system. This gradual loss is the root cause of falls and frailty in old age. Practicing sage balance for just 1 minute on each leg every day is like pressing the sleep button, reset on your neurological clock. It's a simple gesture that trains your body not to fall, to remain firm and strong in the face of every physical challenge in life. Now let's imagine an even more revealing test, a movement that not only predicts your longevity, but reveals your true functional age, or the actual operational age of your body, regardless of what's written on your ID. Try to imagine sitting on the floor and standing up again, but with one unavoidable condition: without using your hands, knees, or any other support. For most people in the Western world, raised in a culture dominated by chairs and sofas, this elementary transition has become an almost insurmountable challenge. And yet, for Japanese centenarians, it's a natural, daily gesture. This humble transition from sitting to standing is the second secret of the code. A massive longitudinal study conducted by the University of Tsukuba, which monitored over 10,000 subjects, revealed a shocking finding. Those who were able to sit and rise from the floor fluidly and without external supports had a drastically lower mortality rate in subsequent years. For each point of support used, a hand, a knee, the risk of death increased significantly. This isn't a simple test of strength or flexibility. It's an examination of total integration of your body. What exactly does this movement evaluate? It evaluates a complex synergy of abilities that we progressively and silently lose as we age. It requires core muscle strength, the core, to stabilize the trunk, complete mobility of the hips and ankles to allow joint range of motion, motor coordination to correctly sequence actions, and, above all, a fine neurological planning. Your brain must prefigure and execute a complex series of commands to move your body efficiently against the force of gravity. It's a neurological test disguised as physical movement. Practicing this transition daily is like stepping back in biological time. Every time you sit down and get up from the floor, you're re-educating your body to the fundamental movement patterns it was intrinsically designed for. You're nourishing your joints, strengthening those deep stabilizing muscles that are ignored by most conventional exercises, and, most importantly, maintaining your brain's acuity and plasticity. This skill is the ultimate guarantee of your independence. The ability to get up from the ground alone is, literally, the ability to take control of one's life after a fall, without depending on others. This movement is the physical manifestation of Thoth's wisdom on the crucial importance of spinal flexibility. It is considered the axis of our vital energy, a channel for energy flow. A stiff back and a body unable to move freely are a clear sign of a blocked energy flow. By practicing this transition, you not only restore fluidity in your muscles and joints, but you also affect the entire energetic system, sending a clear message to your body. You are still young, capable, and fully resilient. After having fine-tuned the nervous system with a balance exercise and having restored full functional mobility with the transition to the ground, we are ready for the third ritual, which acts as the catalyst that integrates and amplifies everything, the radio taiso. Imagine waking up, not disturbed by the aggressive sound of an alarm clock, but invited by a sweet, lilting piano melody wafting through the air. Every morning, with absolute precision at 6:30, this music resounds from radio stations across Japan. It's not a news program or an advertisement. It's a real call. An invitation to millions of people, from children to the elderly, to move together in a sacred ritual of daily renewal. Taiso radio is not a workout in the Western sense. There are no weights, no strenuous jumps, or feelings of fatigue. It is a sequence of just 13 fluid and harmonious stretches, closer to a meditative dance. Wide arm movements, lateral bends, knee lifts, all performed with a grace and intention that recall the elegance of ancient martial arts. Each individual movement has been meticulously studied to gently awaken the body, bringing every joint to its maximum range of action, but never forcing. It is the physical embodiment of the Thoth principle, according to which continuous, delicate, and conscious movement is the essential key to vitality. Modern science, once again, fully validates what the Japanese tradition has practiced for nearly a century. A large study conducted on over 8,000 elderly practitioners revealed extraordinary results. Those who practiced radio taiso daily experienced 40% fewer falls and a 55% reduction in chronic back and shoulder pain. The secret to this effectiveness lies not in muscle strength, but in joint lubrication. The rhythmic and gentle movement optimally stimulates the production of synovial fluid, the body's natural oil that nourishes, cushions, and protects joints. It's the perfect daily antidote to the stiffness that inevitably comes with age. Even the moment in which the practice is performed is crucial. Practicing radio taiso immediately after waking up, when growth hormone levels are naturally at their peak, maximizes its effects. Essentially, You actively exploit the biological window in which the body is primed for maximum cellular repair. These 3 minutes don't just warm up the muscles. They send a peremptory signal to every cell in the body to awaken, repair, and renew itself. It's cellular regeneration set in motion. Furthermore, this collective ritual carries a powerful psychological component. Knowing that millions of other people are performing the same movements at the same time creates a profound sense of connection, belonging, and purpose. You're not simply exercising, but participating in a tradition, a communal act that reinforces habit and discipline. It's the perfect union between the social harmony of Japanese and self-care, a practice that nourishes the body, mind, and spirit simultaneously, in less time than it takes to drink a cup of tea. We now come to the heart of the wisdom codified by Thoth, the 3 final movements that complete the code and make it possible to reverse biological aging. The 4th ritual is sampo, which can be translated as the art of mindful walking. Forget the idea of walking as a mere calorie-burning exercise. Sampo is, in its essence, a true meditation in motion. You walk at a slow pace, about half your usual speed, in silence, focusing your attention on each step and on your breathing. Breathing technique is of fundamental importance. You inhale for 2 steps, hold your breath for another 2 steps, and exhale slowly for 4 steps. This deliberate, measured rhythm does more than just calm the mind and reduce stress. A study from Kyoto University monitored sampo practitioners, finding that, within a few months, they experienced a 62% reduction in arterial stiffness, a key marker of cardiovascular aging. By forcing the foot into full and conscious contact with the ground, from heel to toe, all 33 joints of the foot are activated, triggering a cascade of neurological signals that reprogram the postural and balance system. It is a subtle, daily calibration of the organism, preparing the body for the next ritual. The 5th movement is the deep squat rest pose. In our world dominated by chairs and sofas, we have lost one of the most natural and restorative postures for the human body. The deep squat, with the heels firmly on the ground and the back held straight, is the position for which the body was primarily designed for rest. For the Japanese, squatting is not a gym exercise, but an integral part of daily life. Holding this pose for just 2 minutes a day has a profound and systemic impact. A 12-year study showed that older adults who were able to maintain the deep squat were 70% less likely to require home care in old age. Biomechanically, the deep squat is a regenerative exercise. It opens the hips, decompresses the lumbar spine, strengthens the pelvic floor, and nourishes the knee and ankle joints with synovial fluid. It's the perfect corrective action against the damage caused by hours of sedentary activity. Regaining this ability means recovering the mobility and independence of youth. It's a return to our primal posture, an act of grounding that reconnects us with the energy of the earth, a fundamental principle in the teachings of Thoth about drawing vitality from one's environment. The 6th and final exercise is the towel twist. This may seem like the simplest of all, but its effects are surprisingly complex. Grasping a towel held at shoulder height with your hands wide apart, you slowly twist your torso from side to side, maintaining tension on the tissue. This tension activates the deep stabilizing muscles along the spine, which conventional workouts tend to ignore. But the real miracle happens in the brain. The twisting of the torso, while the arms create an opposing force, forces the 2 cerebral hemispheres to communicate in an intense and coordinated way. This movement improves coordination, reaction time, and memory. A 20-year study of elderly Japanese has demonstrated a result that almost seems like science fiction. Those who practiced towel twisting for just 2 minutes a day lived an average of 7 years longer and with a dramatically higher quality of life. It's the ultimate integration, the movement that synergistically unites body and mind. Why do these 6 seemingly basic exercises possess such a profound ability to reverse aging? The answer lies not in magic or mysticism, but in advanced physiology and the way our bodies were designed to operate. What ancient sages like Thoth intuited, modern science is deciphering in the laboratory. The key lies in how these rituals communicate directly with our body's control systems, the nervous system and the hormonal system. Let's start with the brain. Exercises like the sage's balance and the towel twist are essential nourishment for neuroplasticity. Every time you subject your body to a balance challenge or a complex twist, you're forcing your brain out of its automatic patterns. This stimulates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that acts like fertilizer for neurons, helping them grow, connect, and protect them from age-related deterioration. You're, quite literally, building a younger, faster brain. Then consider the hormonal system. Fluid, conscious movements like taiso and sampo have a profound, beneficial effect on reducing cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronic stress is one of the major accelerants of aging, as it causes inflammation, damages DNA, and weakens the immune system. By practicing these gentle movements, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and repair mode. This lowers cortisol levels and allows the body to direct energy toward healing, cellular regeneration, and tissue maintenance. And what about our joints and muscles? The pain and stiffness we inevitably associate with old age aren't a curse, but are largely the result of a lack of functional movement. Rituals like the deep squat rest pose and floor transitions ensure our joints move through their maximum natural range of motion. This stimulates the production of synovial fluid, the lubricant that keeps joints healthy and pain-free. They also activate the deep stabilizing muscles that support our posture and protect the spine, muscles that most conventional workouts completely ignore. The true brilliance of these 6 rituals lies in their holistic approach. They don't isolate a single muscle or organ system, but treat the body as an integrated and perfectly functioning whole. Sage balance trains the brain. Floor transitions ensure functional mobility. Taiso radio lubricates joints and balances hormones. Sampo improves cardiovascular health. Deep squats restore posture. And towel twist integrates both sides of the brain. Together, they form a complete maintenance and rejuvenation system. It's not magic, it's a physiological intelligence applied. It is about using movement, the most basic tool we possess, to send the correct signals. Instead of messages of stress, sedentary lifestyle, and deterioration, you send signals of repair, strength, and vitality. If you've reached this point, the map is complete and entirely at your disposal. The wisdom of Thoth, which has stood the test of millennia, has been validated by the most rigorous science and is lived concretely every day by Japanese centenarians. This knowledge is no longer an inaccessible secret, it is here, ready for your action. The fundamental truth is that painful aging, loss of motor autonomy, and mental decline are not inevitable. They are, to a large extent, the consequence of an existence disconnected from the natural movement patterns for which our bodies were wonderfully designed. What you have discovered is not a promise of immortality or an illusion of eternal youth. It is something infinitely more real and of inestimable value. It is the opportunity to live every year of your existence to the fullest. Independence, with a clear mind and a strong body, capable of supporting you. It is the ability to radically change the narrative of aging, transforming it from a process of gradual decline into a path of continuous wisdom and increased vitality. The choice, now, is entirely yours. You can shelve this information and continue on the conventional path, or you can make a courageous and divergent choice, to dedicate less than 15 minutes a day to honoring and regenerating the incredible project that is your body. You don't need expensive equipment, gym memberships, or miracle supplements. All you need is your body, the ground beneath your feet, and your willingness to move with awareness. The journey to rejuvenation doesn't begin with a grandiose, sudden transformation. It begins with a single step, a single minute of balance, a single conscious breath. This small decision, when repeated tomorrow, the day after, and every day thereafter, triggers a powerful cumulative effect. It's like a drop of water that, day after day, manages to sculpt the hardest rock. Every conscious movement is a message you send to your cells, ordering them to repair, strengthen, and renew themselves. You are taking on the role of architect of your own biology, using the simplest and most powerful tools that exist. The elders of Japan do not practice these rituals because they fear death. They practice them because they love life. They desire to savor every moment with full presence, to actively participate in their families' lives, and to maintain their dignity and independence until their last breath. This is the true and final reward, a vitality that is not administered from outside, but awakens from within, from the deepest core of your being. If the resonance of this ancient code has touched the deepest chords of your soul, and if you feel that your path of renewal begins at this very moment, I urge you to seal this commitment by immediately placing the like on the video. So, in order for me to recognize that you are no longer a simple spectator, but an active custodian and bold with this wisdom, I invite you to leave below, in the comments, the Latin word audo. This word means, I dare, I take a risk, and is the definitive declaration of your willingness to dare a future of vitality and autonomy. Finally, to stay on track on this extraordinary journey and to ensure that this message of hope reaches all those in need, I warmly invite you to subscribe to the channel. Your support is not just a contribution, but an act that allows us to keep the bridge between Egyptian wisdom and contemporary vitality alive and active. I thank you for embracing this truth. May your vital energy be perpetual. With deepest gratitude, I send you my best wishes and a powerful greeting. Ad Astra.